And again, if you're just joining us, Jay, tell me one more time about GP6. All right, if you're just joining us.
Someone's gonna message me and be like,
Okay,
"Yo,
just
you're
make
killing me."
sure we have
But
good sound and good video. So tell me one last time you really think about GP6. Go ahead.
so far, with my limited experience with the ZP6, I believe it is overrated. I don't think it's anything that people should rave over. Here's the thing, though, is we did talk about this. I trust Lance. I fully trust Lance, and so that's what's really interesting, right? Is maybe the ZP6 that Lance reviewed was slightly different than the new ZP6 special that we're getting, right?
Yep.
Maybe that's the case. Maybe it's the same birds. I mean, who knows? But for me to have this radically different of an experience out of a grinder, that somebody that I trust thoroughly, right? I mean, I've learned so much from Lance. I'm sure all of us here has learned so much from Lance. Yeah, it's just something's not right.
Okay, so but your problem is the flavor from here is somewhat muted. So that is your problem, correct?
It's not somewhat muted. It's
Muted.
like a cold brew.
Okay, so you're talking about obviously you've been playing the different burrs, different
Yeah.
grinders,
Yeah.
and for your own opinion, so this grind. You know what the thing is? I think I feel the same way about this as well, and
My
that's why.
specific unit of ZP6 that I have here so far sucks. There you go. There's a clickbaity title you can use. But yeah, I mean, it's not. I just don't. And my buddy, he loaned it to me indefinitely because he was like, dude, you can. I'll never use that again. Like, so yeah, it's really interesting because I love the JX Pro. Um, but yeah, and 1Zpresso is doing so many good things with grinders, right? Like the external adjustment ring, like how it
Yep.
feels. The build is amazing, incredible. Whenever people come to me and they're like, "Oh, what about the Comandante?" I'm like, "Comandante is old news. There's, that's old news."
Hold on. Okay. Tell me. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to Comandante. Why you think Comandante is old news?
I mean, it's just they're not doing anything. They're not really doing anything innovative
So
at
this is
all.
the okay. So I have the Comandante, the latest version, the
Yeah,
C40 Mark IV.
I think they've really set a really solid standard in the direction of hand grinders for consumers, right? Because back, I don't know, like even a few years ago, like the only options out there were like the Hario Skirton and maybe what else was out there? There were a few other grinders, but I mean, not nearly as there were probably less grinders in total than the entire entire ZPresso lineup. And even the whole Comandante grind setting thing, right? The clicks. Everybody's like, oh, 15 clicks on Comandante without red clicks. Okay,
Yeah.
but the Comandante doesn't have a true 0 point. Everybody's 0 point is still different. And so your 15 clicks might be 18 clicks on mine, And so it's like, yeah, it's good to standardize grind settings, but if that standardization isn't accurate for everybody, how useful or valuable is that data? It's not.
But again, I mean, every time you gotta calibrate, right? So you gotta find the 0 point,
Right,
and
but
then
everybody's 0 point can be different. It can
okay,
be different. There's different burr wear. I mean, I think trying to deliver grind size in terms of clicks is silly.
okay,
And I think that's another reason why, like, even the big guys like James Hoffman, they never talk about, okay, this is certain, like, they might talk about their current settings, right? But every grinder has different alignment. Every grinder has different calibrations. Every grinder has different burr wear, right? And I mean, it can get really crazy, like different coffees at different elevation
yep.
levels. How dense is that coffee? What kind of processing did it go through? then some of those really super dense coffees might produce a ton of fines, you know. And it's like there's no good way to translate it,
Okay.
right?
That sounds good at all, but that's all the technical point of view. What about the flavor from Comandante? What are you finding lately?
I mean, I don't own a Comandante. I've had numerous brews out of Comandante, and I think
Okay,
it's
and
good.
then what do you think about it?
I think it's good. I think it's solid. But can it
Solid.
compete right now with other grinders at the $300 price point? Absolutely not.